This day, it is our 60th anniversary of being here in the village, and we're celebrating that. We're going to talk about that in a second. Did you wake up to some drizzle, a little bit of rain this morning? We predicted that. I'm pretty sure Bobby mentioned that yesterday, but don't hold us to these things. We never know for sure, but we woke up to it this morning. It's hard to be accurate. We never know. We're not meteorologists. We just play that on TV. But what we do know is who we have on our show today, and it's going to be a good one. From the History Center, we talked about that 60th anniversary. You've seen it in our open, and we're going to be talking about that with Catherine Bryans. She's going to come in, talk about a celebration they just did, how you can go down to the History Center and see some of that history of the development of the Laguna Woods Village over the 60 years that we've been here. And she's going to tell us all about that and what other things they have planned for later on this year. And then, of course, we're going to talk to the folks from MacArthur Dental Arts, Dr. Ryan Lang. He's going to talk to us about the services they provide, all the in-house stuff. They got some amazing stuff over there. They got the robotics and the little things that can build your tooth right there in an hour while you're waiting. So it's pretty amazing. If you're doing a root canal or anything like that, a crown, you can get that work done that day, which is a pretty incredible. Usually it's a week or so process, but pretty great. Hey, let's talk about what you can do when you're on hold. You don't have to stay on hold, folks. Hey, especially if you're getting services here in the village, they have a callback program. So don't hold on. We have the new callback feature that will help reduce those hold times. Residents who call during peak times can leave a callback telephone number as an alternative to waiting on hold. Then what you do is you get to hang up, go about your business, and when the phone rings, it's them calling you back, and you get your place in line. Just because you hung up or gave them your phone number doesn't mean that you lost your place in line. So it's the same thing, but you don't have to sit there and listen to that terrible hold music. So give that a try the next time you're calling for village services and you have to be placed on hold. Let's take a look outside of that weather we were talking about. It's still cloudy out there. We still have a chance for the rest of the day. It's going to be decreasing as we go on in the day. So really this morning was our biggest chance for the drizzle and the little sprinkles, showers, whatever you want to call them. And that's going to be decreasing as we go. So probably by this afternoon, really we're just going to be left with some high clouds as things start to clear up and move out of the area. Tomorrow, partly cloudy. That rain chance is pretty much gone. And then we're in for really a nice weekend of 70s, mid-70s, almost a little spring, a little preview of what spring might be coming around the corner. And again, got some stuff on Monday, a little cooler as we head into possibility of showers next week as well. So we're in the rainy season, so that's what we get. Let's take a look at our sunrise and our sunset while we're at it. Thank you very much, Ben Givens, for sending us this picture. It's a beautiful one. And sunrise this morning was 6:51, sunset 5:14. If you'd like to send us a picture just like Ben did of sunrise, sunset, beautiful wide shot of the hills and the mountains, pets, places you've been, whatever it might be, you can do that by sending it to us via email at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you send us your name and where you took the picture. And if you can, make sure it's horizontal so it fits a little bit better on our screen. And we will put it in our sunrise, sunset segment for you. Okay, let's take a look at some meetings. And then when we come back, we'll be talking about history, 60 years right here in the village.
We believe every senior should be able to remain healthy, happy, and at home. At Caring Senior Service, we understand the value of compassion and companionship. Our caregivers promote health, happiness, and independence. We cook nutritional meals, engage in meaningful activities, run errands, do light house cleaning, and more. Call us toll-free at 833-926-3700 or visit our website, CaringSeniorServiceLW.com. Healthy, happy home. Caring Senior Service.
At Adapt to It, we strive to make the everyday tasks easier by providing our customers with the tools they need to be successful. We carefully explain the use and care of all of our equipment. Adapt to It has been in Laguna Woods for over 20 years, and we know that nothing in life stays constant. So we can help you adapt to all the changes in your life. Adapt to It sells and rents items and always delivers with a smile. Come in today to experience what we mean when we say, when you can't change it, adapt to it.
Dr. Farhumand and her associates at Brilliant Smile are excited to announce we now feature cone beam computed tomography. CBCT scans have many benefits over traditional x-rays. They are fast, safe, non-invasive, and provide better care to our patients. The 3D images provide an accurate view of teeth, bones, and soft tissue. It allows us to diagnose and treat more effectively. Also, it features modern diagnosing of sleep apnea by checking the airways and obstructions. Get started today. Call Brilliant Smile Laguna Woods Village favorite dentist.
Did you know that the Laguna Hills Lodge was originally built as a place for relatives or friends to stay when they were visiting? In 1968, Laguna Woods' residents built the first 2 buildings of the lodge because they wanted a place close by for visitors to stay. Since then, the lodge has become the spare bedroom for the Laguna Woods' residents. The lodge has received the TripAdvisor Award of Excellence 8 years in a row. We invite you to stay in one of our recently remodeled garden rooms and take advantage of a special offer for Laguna Woods' residents, family, and friends.
You know, Laguna Woods Village does have a history. It started with Ross Cortese way back then, the developer who had a vision for it, Leisure World as it was called back then. And it's been 60 years of that history. And I want to welcome to the program Catherine Bryans, who is at the History Center, and you just celebrated the 60th anniversary of the village here, right?
Well, we've just started.
Just started.
Because
it's underway.
It's underway. We're going to do a 3-parter, so I'll talk about that in a little bit, honoring the village for 60 years. And I know that the community at large is going to be doing some celebrations throughout the year, which will be really good. The actual move-in date was September of 1964, so we're leading right up to that time.
So tell us about the kickoff for the 60th anniversary. What was it all about? I know we have some pictures we'll probably be taking a look at here.
Well, we kick off differently than a lot of kickoffs because we kick off with old stuff, the history. But one of the things we did was have a reception on Tuesday evening. And since you haven't been in the building, we'll get you there.
We'll get me there. I will. I'll come.
Since you haven't been in the building, it's important to realize how small it really is. And we had over 100 people show up.
Wow, okay.
So it was standing room only.
We have a picture of the
that
event.
That picture is a little deceiving because that was before the whole flock of people moved in that room. There were a lot of people. But on the top, on the left is Dean Dixon, who is our CEO, and he was welcoming people seated in the blue shirt on the right side is Jared Mathis, who's the great-great-grandson of Nellie Gale Moulton.
Oh, wow.
Exactly, and he's the head of the Moulton Museum that's down in off La Paz and Cabot Road.
Okay.
Near.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that so many of these streets and names of buildings and things like that are named after the original families.
The family.
Nellie Gale, the Moultons, Segerstroms, and all these people around here, right?
Exactly. And what the unique thing is what ties everything together for us is maintaining that relationship with the Moulton family has been very important for us, and it's been ongoing for several years, and that's a good thing. But anyway, that's Dean and Jared Mathis, who is the great-great-grandson, beginning of the program, which really was very short because obviously people came to see what we were exhibiting.
Right.
They also
let's take
came to
let's
eat.
take a look at some of the, yeah, well, who doesn't like food?
That's in the village.
Let's take a look at the next slide. We have a great picture. You have some displays
This is
up there.
one of our display cabinets, and what you're seeing in there are some of Nellie Gale's painting. And we had an exhibition of hers several years ago that had 800 and some people show up over a 4 or 5 week time. It was very interesting. And all these pictures and all the artifacts you see have never been shown publicly yet.
Oh, okay.
So we are in front of the line,
It's
and
the
that
debut.
was wonderful. And this is all 3 of the cabinets. The right-hand cabinet, tall cabinet, shows Nellie Gale with her daughters, Charlotte and Louise. And they were very active on the ranch, as was Nellie. After Lewis Moulton passed away, they were actually running that. And you can see a horse collar, lariat, different pieces that were shown. In the left-hand cabinet is a picture of the family, the Moulton family, along with the Daguerre family. The Daguerre family came on later on and became a third ownership in that ranch, and he was a sheep herder from the Basque French country.
And I've seen the archived pictures of the sheep on the hills.
Yes.
It's amazing to think it's only a couple generations ago that this was really just ranch land and orange groves and lemon groves and bean fields and things like that.
And it was bean fields and wheat, and they did dry farming, but it was cattle, and then primarily became sheep. They're a little easier to move around. And they ran sheep all the way up into Bakersfield through the
Really?
mountains. I know. They didn't own that property, but they
Kind
had
of free grazers.
They had grazing rights.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you guys have a second exhibit coming up that you guys are going to do. You have something else coming up later
That's
this year. Tell
part
us a
of
little
our
bit about that.
three-pronged. We have 2 events coming up. The first one will be in May. They run for 3 months, as will this exhibit run for 3 months. And that one is what we call sort of fossils forward. It's the beginning of the construction, and you see all these great construction pictures, which were,
Right.
but that was the beginning. It didn't just happen in September of '64.
It didn't just suddenly
It happened
Yeah, we got a great aerial. We have a great aerial shot of some of the development too, in there at El Toro Road. Yeah, and it's incredible to see kind of like almost the stages of it as it grows out.
Right, and a lot of that was due to financing and things of that sort that were necessary, and especially in United, which is co-ops, the original village.
Right,
And,
and the thing is, when Cortese started this has been an unproven idea. It was who would want to be here. The investors weren't 100% behind it at first.
Well,
and then it boomed and it sold out so quickly. I think that was one of the things that thought, okay, we've got something here.
I think he figured that out when Leisure World in Seal Beach sold, which was the first one.
Right.
He had built some developments before. Rossmore was actually a community he built. Surprise, Rossmore.
Yeah, right.
And they maintained that name. And I think he realized that, but he believed the seniors were a very neglected, this is Ross Cortese,
right.
I'm speaking for him, where there was a very, very neglected market for mature adults. And he recognized, I don't know where this all came from, but he recognized the fact that people were beginning even then to retire earlier. And he knew that this group wanted a community that offered more than just housing. So we got it in spades.
Absolutely.
And I spent several years being a docent in this community, and one thing I realized that people were shocked that we had stables and we had several golf courses and all.
The first security patrols were on horseback, weren't they? That's the story I heard from the folks from the equestrian center.
Really? I haven't seen that. That may be true that there was some. I don't know that for sure. I'll have to check on that.
You should make me a docent.
But you have to be a docent with the right information.
Yes,
so
I do.
We
have to check that out.
One.
I can't just be blathering on, which I do usually.
He started actually construction in this area through Seal Beach and here early on in the late 50s, early 60s. And then the opening day was in 1964.
Amazing time. So for folks who have not been down to the center, where is it? That's a great question, I think.
Well, it's adjacent, and I say adjacent to the library.
Okay.
Near Clubhouse 1, because it's actually a separate building. It has 8 inches between the 2 buildings. It was become very important for some reason, but we were built later, and then the portico out front was to make it look like one. So we're right next to the village library. We will be open when Clubhouse 1 is shut down for beautification.
The remodel, right?
And but there's going to be limited parking, but we will be open and we'll be available. So.
And what are the hours that you guys are open if people want to come by and take a visit?
Our primary hours are 11 to 1 Monday through Friday, and that's because we only have a few volunteers that work in there. I'm one, and we have 10 trustees, and then we have, other than our trustees, just 2 or 3 other volunteers who come in.
Well, then the next question is, do you need volunteers?
We're always looking for people. Right now, we were hoping to get someone with some background in the web page. We have a web page. We just need someone in office to be able to discuss changes with, and we also contract with a professional person, but we need someone who could translate our information to their speak, which is nothing I know anything about. And we would love to have somebody come in and work with us on Facebook.
Get folks from the PC Club coming over and helping you guys
I
out.
went and I spoke to them at their latest meeting, and it was like,
Get in line?
chirp, chirp, chirp. There was nothing much, it was nothing that was going to happen that day, or maybe it will someday. Maybe somebody will get interested after seeing the exhibit. So
yes, very fun
but
stuff.
our really big job is, and this is important, we collect the history, not only of Laguna Woods, but the surrounding areas. And it's important for us to document things so people can research. So anybody can come in
and see those histories and learn from it.
Exactly.
Catherine Bryans from the History Center here in Laguna Woods Village, thank you so much for joining us.
My
and
pleasure.
look forward to celebrating the rest of the 60-year anniversary with
Exactly.
you. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to be talking to folks from MacArthur Dental Arts. Stay with us.
No one deserves to be ashamed of their smile. MacArthur Dental Arts is here to bring back your confidence. We specialize in at-home personalized smile restoration through the power of dental implants and perfect fit dentures. I'm here to answer all your questions with free in-office consults or using our Laguna Woods in-home service special. Don't wait to get the secure, worry-free smile you deserve. Visit MacArthurDentalArts.com or call the number on your screen to schedule your consultation today.
Not to sound too much like the Joker, but let's put a smile on that face in 2024. And to help us do that, we're going to talk with MacArthur Dental Arts, Dr. Ryan Lang. Thanks for joining us again on the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
So you guys are a full-service dentistry office, and I want to talk about some of the things you guys do there that are, with the new technology these days. I remember when I got a crown, maybe 10, 15 years ago or so, it was a plastic, like temporary in there and that kind of thing, and then a week or two later it had to come back and let's see if it fits. You guys can do that in-house now, right?
Correct, yeah. I think since the last time I visited the show, I've had some people come into the office and they're just blown away by the technology because we've gotten rid of the goopy impression materials for taking impressions, and now we have a 3D scanner that takes those impressions for us. And there's no more plastic crowns that you leave with, the temporaries. You don't have those anymore for 2 weeks. You come in, you get the tooth ready, and within 40 minutes you have a brand new tooth that's permanent. And
wow.
I think I take that for granted a lot because I just work with it every day, and when people come in and they're blown away, it always humbles me.
Yeah, like kids who with cell phones, they don't take for granted. Like 30 years ago, nobody, it's like it's just something that's there now, right?
Yeah.
And I do remember the goopy. When you said that goopy, like purpley stuff, I had to chomp down on and hold that for like 5 minutes or whatever in my mouth. And popped out of there.
Yeah.
So none of that anymore. That's all gone.
Yeah, for the most part, there are instances when we need to use those impressions, but I would say 98% of our impressions are taken digitally now with just a camera that videotapes your mouth.
So you walk out that day with a permanent new crown.
Yep. That same day.
Wow. And what's it like learning that? What was like the learning curve of getting those machines in house? Is it just kind of overnight? Does it kind of do it itself?
There is AI technology within the machine that will look at the other teeth in your mouth, and it will propose a crown that looks like your natural tooth, and then I go in and make tweaks in the software. So there was a learning curve. It probably took, I'd say, 2 to 3 years until I got it really dialed in.
Okay.
But most people, they come in and they're just beside themselves. Like, how don't you need to take an impression of my tooth so you know what it looks like? And they're fascinated with the fact that this AI technology, you can just build a tooth in seconds, and it looks just like a natural tooth.
Okay. Now, another thing you wanted to talk about a little bit is the full arch implants. Tell me about someone who's never had that happen. What is a full arch implant in the first place, and what are you doing there that's new and different?
Yeah, so with that, it kind of falls in line with our same-day dental practice. I'm sure you've seen billboards that say get, a full set of teeth in a day.
Right. You see the janky teeth on the left in the picture, and then the really amazing ones on the right.
Yeah, this is it's for more extreme cases and those patients that are terrified of the dentist and haven't been in years, maybe even decades, and they just want to hit that reset button and get a fresh set of teeth that are functional, because they've started to notice that they can't eat foods that they used to. So the way that procedure looks like is I have an anesthesiologist that comes into my office and puts you under, and then we basically place implants and the full arch, and then we load a full set of teeth onto those implants. So they're actually screwed in and permanent on that day.
Wow.
And with the technology that I have in my office, I have the ability to create all of that stuff in the office, and that's why you can leave with it in the same day.
Same day,
yeah.
Really? And you're out walking out with kind of a new mouth, basically,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Wow. And what are some of the reasons why someone would need a full arch kind of thing? Is it just years of decay, or is it years of neglect, or is it just sometimes there's something inherently genetically gone on within their mouth that there's something's gone wrong?
Yeah, the answer to that is kind of an all of the above answer. So it's those patients that have multiple teeth missing and really important teeth missing from the mouth. Usually periodontal disease is associated with it. People that have bone loss or recession or loose teeth. Decay, that can also play a part in it. Teeth that just are hopeless, they've gotten to the point where you can't restore them anymore. And sometimes it's a cheaper alternative to restoring every tooth in your mouth. You just hit that reset button and start over, because implants don't really collect the same type of decay. You can't get a cavity on an implant.
Yeah, which is the good news.
Yeah, so they're a little bit easier to maintain. They still do still call for some maintenance. You have to come into the office, I would say 6 months to a year, just to have things checked on to make sure that everything's being cleaned properly. But it's a lot easier to maintain than a full set of teeth. No more flossing.
No more flossing. Oh man, now I'm sold. I had my wisdom teeth and my uppers, and my molars never came in, but the uppers did come in, and so I had to get an extraction on that. And my dentist referred me to someone else who just pulled them out and kind of thing. But I was surprised they didn't do that in-house. But you guys do extractions in-house, right?
Yeah, I think one of the great things about being a general dentist is I can kind of have my hand in every basket, and it's for us as general dentists to decide where we want to pigeonhole our training and become professional at. And I've really taken steps towards becoming more of a surgical general dentist, and I place a lot of implants. I've done a lot of training with implants and extractions. So I think a lot of my patients are blown away about the fact that we do a lot of stuff in-house, and that I do my own extractions and that I don't refer patients out for them. Obviously, there are some extenuating circumstances where I do refer to an oral surgeon, but it's rare.
Kind of a high-end specialist of something that's going on.
Yeah.
There's a comfort level with that too, though, because I don't like being referred to a doctor I'm not familiar with.
Exactly.
So are patients appreciative of that? Hey, I'll be doing the extraction for you, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I want patients to have the most comfortable experience that they can through dentistry, because nobody likes going to the dentist, and I've made it my personal vendetta to change the way people think about dentistry, and I want people to leave thinking, well, that wasn't so bad, and that's why I try to keep things in-house and do things myself, so it can be it's a quicker process. You're not going to one office, then coming back, then going to another office, waiting a couple weeks. It's all done, in the one visit.
And it seems like you've incorporated the technology that really kind of makes things even in a quicker process for all of the extras that people, the crowns and the implants that people they don't realize they used to have to wait for.
Yeah, I think the advantage to technology is I can treatment plan cases before you're even in my office. So before your actual surgery day or your appointment, I can plan everything digitally. So when you're sitting in the chair, I could put a blindfold on and do the work. So
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see my dentist doing that, but I hear what you're saying, right? Because you've kind of worked it all out. You've already won the game, so to speak, before the patient even gets in the chair, because you know what approach you're going to take.
Yeah, it's great because you can plan for things that might go wrong in the procedure, so you're ready for it if it happens, and it just makes you more prepared for those procedures.
Okay. And even though we're talking about a lot of specialty stuff here, you guys are still just a regular old full-service dentistry office as well as all the other things you do, right? You do the cleanings, the x-rays, the exams, and all of that for folks.
Yeah, we do all the way from just coming in, getting your teeth cleaned and checkups to doing implant surgeries. And my office is pretty streamlined with our x-rays as well. In a general office, when you come in for your first exam, they take 20 to 22 x-rays of your teeth to get each individual tooth, where I have this stand-up x-ray unit that looks like a spaceship, and it spins around your head for 5 seconds, and it takes a picture of your entire mouth. And I can see into your sinus cavities. I can see if you have wisdom teeth. I can see where the nerve. It shows me the anatomy of your entire jaw. So it gives me a more comprehensive scope of what I'm looking at, and it's better for the patients because we're taking less x-rays. There's less radiation.
Yeah.
And they seem to be a lot more comfortable with that.
100% I would, because the last time I had my x-rays, I had the bite down that little thing, like you said, the 5 or 6 or 10, whatever, all over the place, and it's kind of beep, beep, and I'm wearing the giant vest.
Yeah, exactly. And
so if you guys, is that out of the office now? You don't do those kind of things anymore?
We do 4 of those x-rays, but they're a lot more comfortable. Because we have a very small digital sensor that just takes the 4 x-rays, so I can see in between the teeth, more on a microscopic level. And then we have the big x-ray that takes the picture of the entire teeth. So they're not completely gone, but we're limiting them, so we're not taking as many.
Okay, well, new year, maybe a new dentist in your future for MacArthur Dental Arts. I want to thank Dr. Ryan Lang for joining us again.
Thank you. Come say hi.
They will, and smile. All right, with a smile on my face, I'm going to say you're watching This Day. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Before we leave, I want to talk about Friday's movie. It's a fantastic one, When Harry Met Sally. Terrific movie, Rob Reiner and Nora Ephron creation, and it's this great romantic comedy. It's going to be on 2 p.m. without the subtitles and 6 p.m. with the subtitles. Let's take a quick look at our weather before we head out. We got a little drizzle this morning, but it's going to taper off. By the afternoon, should be all done. Partly cloudy, then a warm, fantastic weekend. Tomorrow on the program, El Toro Water District and Community Bridge Builders. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.
So one of the important things to note, the main difference between male and female breast cancer, is the time of presentation for men. Stage for stage, the diseases are the same. However, if you present later, there's a greater risk that the disease will spread. So one of the most important things I tell all my patients, but especially my male patients, is that as soon as you notice the lump, you need to present to your physician for further evaluation.